Hello, this is Dan. Thank you to everyone who's listened to the podcast so far. It really means a lot to all three of us. The amount of support and happiness, I guess, and laughter it's brought to people. It's really helped all three of us, and it's really means a lot to all of us. I hope that you continue to listen to the podcast as we go forward and just help us grow, and I hope you just enjoy it. We enjoy recording, even if loads of people listen and not many. It's great for our mental health, and it's just great to just talk with people about things we enjoy. So thank you to everyone who's listened so far, and I guess here is episode 3. So guys, I finally caved and I bought the Kirby plushie. Ever since
you posted about it on social medias.
Ever since I saw it, I've been wanting it. It was staring at me dead in the face, and I was like, I'm gonna cave. I'm gonna buy this plushie, and I don't have room for it, but I'm gonna buy it.
Well, if you need to make room in your bedroom for it, I'm sure Kirby could eat off your furniture and make room.
Maybe, yeah. Well, right now he's staring me dead in the face as I'm recording, and we're recording.
It's like, not going to put you off, is it? He's giving you like the little death stare from across the room.
Nah, he's got a little cheeky smile.
Has he got a knife in his hand, like in the meme?
I was tempted to get one, but I didn't.
Actually, I've always been meaning to ask you, why did you want that Kirby? Anyway, what was it about it?
Because it's Kirby. That's it.
That is partly one of the reasons, but I was actually... I was watching a playthrough of Kirby's Air Ride because I had that game, and then I stupidly got rid of it. That game goes for over £100 now, and I got rid of it because I'm clever. And so
I mean, the most expensive trash.
It's kind of like it's like compared to like the other GameCube races, it's nothing like them, but the big thing it influenced was actually Smash Bros, because it has the checkered cross off list that's been in Brawl and Ultimate. Might be in another one, but it's because of Air Ride.
Okay, I didn't really know that. Is that actually being like confirmed by the devs?
I don't know, but it's like exactly the same. Like if you played Kirby's Air Ride and then played like Smash Ultimate and Brawl, like the checklist is literally from Kirby's Air Ride.
You see, now that we're talking about this, I can't remember the last time I opened up Super Smash Bros. Brawl or Ultimate or anything like that. It's literally been... Oh, when did the games actually come out? The one on the Wii?
Oh, so long ago, like 2007, I think.
So I think maybe 2010. Right. I was going to say maybe 2010 was the last time I played it, so I've got no idea what the actual pop-up menu looks like anymore.
I know 2014 was when the ones for the Wii U and 3DS came out, because I was working at a pub and I bought the 3DS version because it's the only one I could play behind the bar when I was working.
2008. 2008 for Brawl. Close.
2008. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll say the only one which I've really got fond memories of is the first one on the N64. I think that's the only one which I sort of like, really felt attached to, rather than Melee or Brawl.
I play Melee so much. Like, I unlocked everything in that game, and I no longer have the save data anymore. It's all gone.
Man. Is that an excuse just to play it again?
Oh, well, it's still sitting on my shelf staring at me, and I might pick it up one day. But that means I've got to plug in the Wii again, and I can't be bothered with that.
You need a couple of cables and plugs.
Oh, yeah, but they're too far away.
For me, it's just getting batteries from my Wii remote.
Oh, that too. Everything's plugged in now. I don't have need for batteries anymore.
I was gonna say, although saying that, if you were going to be playing Melee, you could just use the GameCube controller, couldn't you?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, you can.
You're going to be using it on the Wii.
Yeah, I tried to use the Wii remote and nunchuck on Brawl, and I was like, no. And then I remember when I used to play it loads when I was in secondary school, 2 of my friends would use the Wii remote and nunchuck, and I was like, how? And then I just beat them with the GameCube controller.
Yeah, it just feels so much natural just use a controller, even just a normal Wii controller. It was just,
For Ultimate, when I bought Ultimate, I bought the GameCube controller because I was like, I'm not going to play that with my Joy-Cons. I'm going to destroy my Joy-Cons if I play Ultimate with them.
It just feels so cat-handed if you're having to use the Joy-Cons to play Smash. I like my hands just wouldn't listen to me. I just had to use the controller because it's like I said, it's because when I played the N64 one, I had obviously the N64 controller, and that's already a beast to hold on to. So I just felt more comfortable just using the GameCube controller or to play.
Guys, if we're talking about Smash, we've got to ask the question: who's your main? Who do you play as?
Oof. Mine's a bit of a weird answer actually, because I've got kind of a few. So
yeah, I'd say I've got about 3. I sort of juggle around.
Yeah, so mine are
Depends on the.
Mine are Marth, Sonic, Yoshi, and Banjo-Kazooie.
All right. I've not played the newer DLC or characters, so I've not played as Banjo.
I was going to say because I haven't played I haven't played the most recent one. I've skipped most of Melee, but from the first game, I'd say my main would have been either Link or Captain Falcon, and then in obviously the one on the Wii, I think mine might have been Ike. Yeah, probably Ike.
Ike's cool.
Yeah. Oh, back on Melee, I used to like playing as Roy.
Yeah. Cool.
His hold down smash, which gives like an instant KO, was great.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like on Ultimate, I think I sort of swap between Donkey Kong, Dan and B forever, and I quite like playing as Falco as well. But I also quite like playing as Little Mac. I'm quite good with him.
Little Mac's interesting. I think I personally be Fox over Falco because Fox. Let's just be honest. Fox is better than Falco. Like Falco's a bit.
Them's fighting words. Smash.
Well, I settled this down on Corneria.
Ready, go.
Welcome to the Victory Achieved podcast. I'm Dan, and I'm with Chris.
Hello.
And Brandon.
That's me.
So, how are you guys this week?
Freaking warm. I'm not used to this UK weather.
Everything is on fire.
It's
honestly, we live in a country which is known for being damp and miserable, and we've got like a start of a heat wave coming. I don't like it.
No, it's hot, damp, and miserable.
Yeah, well, it's not even damp. It's just literally because I went outside to get a haircut, and just walking back, I felt like I was getting a sunburn through my clothes. So, I'm really not used to this, and considering I'm meant to be going to America, well, obviously once all pandemic stuff starts to blow over, I'm hopefully going to be going to Florida, where it's meant to be even hotter. And I'm just like, my inner Britishness is not going to cope with this.
Oh no! At work, it's got so bad. I get in, and I leave a sweaty mess, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's horrendous. I used to have a this kind of sounds really bad actually. I'm really good at being clean, but work's just got that bad that I can't, and now it's like it's a waste of water to have a shower before work. And I mean, where I work, you're not gonna smell if someone smells bad because you just smell all the oil and everything. So it's like, as long as I have a shower before, in the night before, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I always shower as soon as I get home from work. I don't do it first in the morning, because otherwise, it's like you said, it's just wasting water having to have 2 showers.
When it gets back to winter, I'll probably have a shower in the morning. But in this summer weather, I just can't do it. It's just a waste of water. I get all nice and clean, get in, work for half an hour, and I just sweat so much. It's like, what was the point?
Commit to the sweat.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same thing at work as well, because we've got a lab which has 2 machines which heat up to like 250 degrees. We've got 2 air cons either side, but we're in the process of going to get them replaced. I went in there just to pick up one piece of equipment. It's called a sonicator, just, vibrates really fast to clean stuff. And I went in there, and like when you hold onto something and it feels warm, that, like, I think the whole lab was at least 32, 33 degrees with these 2 air cons on. It was absolutely horrible in there.
Well, thinking about it being hot and everything burning, I believe we should move on to some of the burning issues we have to talk about. Of which we have several. I believe we all wanted this episode to discuss a bit of Demon Slayer, Loki, and the other one, Elden Ring.
We've got a few other little things, yeah. I guess.
Well,
I guess we'll start with Elden Ring, really. We've all seen the trailer.
Oh, what a trailer.
Put it in my face.
You can definitely tell it's a bit of a mixture of a little bit of Sekiro and Dark Souls with...
Yeah, that's literally the vibe I got.
Because, like, everything, there's no, like... there is a little bit. You can see at times that they do have a shield, but for the most part, all the combat's, like, no shields. There's, like, special moves that are being done on this, and like, unleashing through these boss battles. So it looks like it's got a bit of Sekiro there, but it looks really interesting.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a blend of the 3. So I noticed, like, when he's in combat, not only you're dodge rolling, but also you're sort of jumping as well. Plus, there's also a horse that I've seen materialize, and I wonder if they're going to use that as a sort of another evasive maneuver. Like, you could dodge roll, but if you really need to get out of the way, quickly summon your horse and leg it.
I don't know. Maybe
because there was that bit, with that what looked like a turtle with the bell.
Yes.
Underneath. Like, it makes me feel like, do you think there's going to be more of these really large creatures just roaming around? Which, you might need a horse to navigate around.
And if they are they all going to deteriorate to just hit it in the arse, like all the other big monsters in there? Games.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a bit more like a bit more open world in some ways, where you have big areas where you can explore on the horse. Because it had a bit of a Shadow of the Colossus vibe. There was like one section. I was like, I swear that just is Shadow of the Colossus through and through.
I did notice there seem to be 1 or 2 recycled assets. Like there's one bit where one boss jumps down and you see like this sort of cloud kick up, and your character like covers his eyes. Like, hang on, that's the intro to the Nameless King fight.
And I'm just rewatching the trailer just now while we're talking. It's just to give myself like a memory of why we're doing it. So that first sort of clip you see of the horse and this female character, the female character does look like a blend of the Firekeepers and the doll from Bloodborne. And also they keep making a reference to something about a flame in there as well, because obviously we're still keeping the theme of like Dark Souls here, but also obviously now, rather than it being like the Dark Soul we're looking for the Elden Ring. But I'm really like the visual aesthetics of it. It looks absolutely amazing.
I'm interested to see what George Martin's actually brought to this. I'm assuming it's it'll be the story of some sort, but I'm interested to see what he's brought to this.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be more than just a disappointing ending.
Well, I don't think that's him. That's the showrunners of Game of Thrones, not really George Martin. I think
the directors rather than him.
I think obviously that was meant to be the end. That's going into Game of Thrones spoilers. With is it not? It's Bran. I was like, what's his name? With Bran being king, but I think if it was George Martin's proper vision, it would feel satisfying. But those directors, they can't write shit. So
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just re-looking through this thing. So yeah, so you see the sword and the shield, you see the like the dodge roll aspects, and a lot more of these like special abilities you get. But I like also that they've steered clear of, like a single character build like they did in Sekiro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was cool with Sekiro. You only had you had like the one character build, which is just a ninja samurai. But you had all the shinobi, prosthetics which would be associated with it. But it looks like in this, you actually have, the weapon classes are back as if it is going back to Dark Souls roots.
the thing is with Sekiro, you played as an actual character, so
Yeah,
that was one of the big differences. There was like you were the White Wolf. It's White Wolf, isn't it?
yeah,
You play as the White Wolf, and you have this story you're following. Yeah, obviously there's a few different endings, but for the most part, you're following that story. Whereas with Dark Souls, you are just a nameless hollow, and the way you go, and it's kind of what you make of the game in some ways. So there is still a story, but you're not really a character as such.
yeah.
Whereas, like, even in Sekiro, your character is talking in the cutscenes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think it'll just be exciting to see where it goes, because it's all just speculation for the most part. But yeah, I'd love to see how it pans out.
I like
I've
how
definitely got the character classes back.
yeah. I like how there's those enemies that are pots. I saw a meme the other day where it's like Link breaks loads of pots. Now they're coming to get him.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's like this painting of like this one giant pot with arms going to smashing in. Yeah, definitely.
No,
You know what? If people are seeing that and the game comes out and you customize your character, one of the first things is someone's gonna do Link just for that.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Or even with like Souls, like someone's, well, me included, someone's tried to make Guts from Berserk because, well, it was influenced by Berserk, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
It's like loads of people who play Skyrim always try and make Lord of the Rings characters.
I don't think I ever did that. I think I just tried to survive.
No,
But I mean, like the other thing which, again, I really appreciated this in Dark Souls 3 was just the more variety of weapons which you could use. So I'm hoping that Elden Ring keeps with that more variety.
Definitely looks like there's sorcery in it, because there's clearly a scene where he does like the magic sword.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's actually a spell or is that.
It looks like it. It looks like the sorcery for like when you summon one, like the crystal great sword, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like you're either going to have like sword skills, or it'd be like, as it's been before in Souls, with you do magic, like magic weapon and stuff, or magic shield. But I think it more looks like it's going to be sword skill, like weapon skills that you can do mid-combat more than anything else. From what the trailer's shown, it definitely has a more Dark Souls 3 vibe than anything. Although I think it kind of looks a little bit like Dark Souls 2 in certain aspects of it. But then it,
Really?
with like that, there's a scene where you got the characters like on the horse over like a massive vista, and then you have that, as you mentioned earlier, the boss with the bell. That definitely feels like Shadow of the Colossus stuff.
I just feel that bell was in a very unfortunate place.
I know, it is literally just perfectly positioned.
Yeah.
I think I've been watching too much Pokemon because it looks like I'm going to butcher the name. Is it Stakataka? I think it's from Gen 7. One of the Ultra
Mate, there's
Beasts.
so many generations of Pokemon. You can just tell me a Pokemon name, and anything after Gen 4, I'll be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's an Ultra Beast in Gen 7. I think it's called Stakataka. It looks kind of like that.
See, the first one that popped to my mind was, I think, Metagross, purely because of the four, the pillars.
Well,
But like I said, anything after Gen 4 is like a blur to me.
If you
With
look
a
at
bronze song attached to it.
Stakataka, you'll be like, yeah, it looks more like that. Oh, can
Stack Attacker.
I can't. I'm not. Really...
I'm actually googling this now. I don't even know if I'm spelling it right. Stack Attacker. It's just literally just 4 stacks with like a big like load of blocks above.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I remember what it looks like now without looking it up.
No, I had to look up because there's no way I was going to remember that. like I said, anything after Gen 4 is a blur.
The T-Boy designed that one, didn't he? Everyone else was out and break.
Yeah, I know Ash manages to catch it in the anime.
Really?
Yeah, but then he releases it straight up way afterwards.
Why
it's
bother
legendary.
the effort of catching it and then releasing it?
Because it's an Ultra Beast.
Oh
What about this
well.
one, chat? I've been playing Pokemon Crystal currently, like this week.
Yeah.
And I've had a blast playing it. But we were saying just how bad Ash is. All his best Pokemon he just gives away. And if he don't do that, they're just sitting in Professor Oak's lab doing nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Ash does have some really good Pokemon, and I get the thing of he has all these, but then what they do with each series, each generation is they make all those Pokemon their own characters. So we just had so many Pokemon, it would just feel so bloated. So they at least get to, when he gets all the new Pokemon, they're characters in themselves, so they get to develop those as if they're their own characters. So yeah, you could catch so many Pokemon, but then they'd just be forgotten in that own generation.
Well, I stopped watching the anime after the Johto series.
I'll be honest, the Gen 6 anime is my favourite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gen 6 is so good, the anime. I think the Gen 6 games are middle of the pack, but the anime is by far the best of everything. Then I'll probably say it's the Kanto stuff, because more for nostalgia than anything. But the Gen 6 anime is just so good. Every character and all the Pokemon are developed so well, and it just has a great arc and story. It's so good.
Fair enough. Never would have guessed.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of, obviously, nostalgia in anime, me and you, Dan, we've both been watching, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, we have.
And I'm currently on season 4 of, well, this can sound really weird, but I'm on season 4 of season 1, where, season 1 is, your original Yu-Gi-Oh! So not GX, not 5D, but the original Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, there's so many now anyway.
Yeah, so, and which one did you say you've been watching?
I've been watching 5Ds because I never finished it. So I've been rewatching it from the start, and I'm still on the episode where I'm rewatching. I can't remember where I stopped, but I want to finish it. But the thing is with 5Ds, it starts off so strong, and the first season's amazing for Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I'm now at the bit where it's slowly dipping off, and this current section I'm a bit this is not. It's a bit meh, but well, I'm still going to finish it, because I think it gets a bit better later on, but the first season is the best.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I've been rewatching, obviously, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm currently on the season with the Seal of Orichalcos, and it is literally reaching a point where it's just a single duel is maybe lasting 5 or 6 episodes.
5Ds isn't that bad.
I'm just come on, just move on already. They're having flashbacks within flashbacks. I'm just I'm getting a real... as a kid, you would have loved this, just because you would have got home from school, you could stick on Yu-Gi-Oh! And you'd be like, oh yeah, it's time to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And you'd be fine. But now looking back on it as an adult, and just the amount of filler in it, I'm just is it actually just going to progress? It's I'm really, yeah.
Just look at Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball Z. The fight between Goku and Frieza is 30 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't have that in modern day anime now, because a whole a season of an anime is meant to be 12 episodes long. There's no way you can cram half a year for a single fight.
It pretty much was that.
This is why Smash Brothers has a timer of 90 seconds.
Can you just imagine Goku versus Frieza in a Super Smash Brothers style? I think I probably would have preferred it.
was hiding in a corner for ages, refusing to come out.
Like, come on, it takes like 4 weeks for him to charge a spirit bomb, and then maybe in the next episode he'll release it. But it turns out he has a flashback. So he charges up for 4 weeks, has a flashback. Then you go back to him charging up the bloody spirit bomb again. Yeah, can't be dealing with that anymore.
And he'll finally hit it and only do 2% damage.
Like or if it does like him from Yu-Gi-Oh, you fell for my trap card, and then we're back to square one again.
Yeah, like I think it's because we've both, you and I, Brandon, we've been getting into actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh recently. So this is because of that we're watching it.
Yeah, like playing Yu-Gi-Oh and other card games like every fortnight. Just that, yeah, it's so nice. It's been something I've been wanting to do ever since I was a kid. Because from where I live, I didn't actually have any like friends where I live who'd enjoyed that sort of stuff. It's only been since I went to university and met you guys that I've finally been able to achieve these childhood ambitions. So it's been really, really cool. Yeah, that is a definite victory achieved, mate. I'll give you that.
No, hopefully we're going this coming Friday, but who knows?
Yeah,
but
I hope so.
Yeah, so I've currently building a new deck. We'll see how it goes.
Mate, I loved your... Okay, so for all those people out there who are listening who have played Yu-Gi-Oh before, you know, like the old school cards, you know, like first series Yu-Gi-Oh when it's, you know, when it's on Pegasus's Island, like those sorts of cards which you see. And this guy brings out that deck. I spend more time reminiscing over his deck than playing against it.
I've got I've got two decks. I've got like a modern deck, like an icy dragony deck, which I bought a couple of weeks back, and then I've got an ancient gear deck that I've changed a bit. So I'm looking forward to using that next week. I spent maybe too much money buying a whole load of new cars for it. I'm not saying how much. Obviously, you know, Brandon, but anyway,
I do actually.
I'm not saying it on the podcast, but I got all the cards. I'm like, oh my gosh, this deck is gonna be really fun to use next time. I'm still waiting on free cards, and they are the most important free cards as well. So I can't do anything until these last free cards come.
Yeah, so seeing as me and you have been reminiscing about this, Chris, have you ever been involved in like Yu-Gi-Oh card games or things like that?
Yu-Gi-Oh, no, not a clue. I've got quite a sizable Pokemon card collection. I know how to play that, and I've made a few decks, but nothing competitive. It's more so I can play with my niece. So
oh, that's nice.
I can teach her how to play it. But if you haven't played it, I do recommend it. Although finding a copy might be hard. But the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy Color is a legit good game.
I knew you were going to mention this. I've never played it. I don't actually know how to play the Pokemon TGC.
I think it's really similar to Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I had a feeling like it was going to be where you have kind of 6 Pokemon and you evolve them. Isn't it? Is that
kind of.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of what it might be. So at least I kind of guessed, I guess.
Yeah, well, we won't go into the rules now because Christ will take up the rest of the episode.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is pretty simplistic. Like it, as Brandon says, it does play a bit like Magic the Gathering, but more simplified. So it is quite easy to pick up. So maybe I'll teach you one day, and you can teach me how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll just look at you gone out.
Yeah, we'll all go to like a bar and we'll just suddenly start playing Pokemon or whatever.
Oh, we was joking about this the other week. Like when me, Callum, Jake, and Tony, we went to Spoons, and we were sat at a table. It was literally my first time having a pint in a pub since like COVID came about, so that was really nice. And I was in there, and I was just like, should we just whack the cards out now and just start playing it in the pub?
Yeah, why not?
That'd be so good.
Well, if you want to get me involved into any kind of card game, just mention pub. If there's pub involved, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, because sometimes we'll go like pub before it, and then
Who's buys around? So
I went pub last Friday, and it was just 6 guys who all play Warhammer, just talking about Warhammer, getting pissed.
Yeah, I've never played Warhammer or really heard anything about it. So I always get confused. Is it a card game? Is it like, what is it?
It's just models.
It's like a tabletop game. Yeah.
There is a card game version, but there is like the actual Warhammer models. Like I've got maybe too much, but anyway.
Yeah, but how does it play? Like okay, you said it's models, but how does Warhammer play? Like how does it work?
It'll be in it.
I've literally got no idea.
We'll probably be here for the next 2 hours if I went into it. But basically, you buy certain models for whatever army you're doing. You comprise a list of whatever you're taking. You set them up. Your opponent sets theirs. You play an objective mission, and you're trying to gain objectives and earn points and stuff like that. While blasting your opponent off the board as best you can with dice rolls.
Okay, so yeah, that's the main thing. I was just wondering, like, how does it play?
Yeah,
So it's just like entirely. So is it entirely dice based, or is there also things? This can sound really crap, but just bear with me. Is it kind of like Monopoly in a way where there's cards, like how you got the community chest and chances? Are there cards which do an effect or something, or is it just entirely dice based?
It's more like Yu-Gi-Oh with trap cards.
Oh, okay.
So you got your dice rolls that are more doing like your movement and shooting. Well, not really massively movement, but still a bit of movement. More your shooting and your combat. But then you've got like special, they're called stratagems, which are more like trap cards in like Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever they are in the Pokemon TGC. And so you can for one of my armies, I can fire again after I fired if I spend some points.
Okay, fair enough. Because I see the Warhammer shop in town, and I'm just like, what even is it? Like I've never knew, because I know you and you're quite into it, and I think Cal also spoke about it a little bit. But I was like, I've got no idea what this is.
Yeah, I've got so much. I've got a few models out right now, but one's painted, one's not painted, one's half painted, and one I'm repainting because I painted it red, and then I was like, actually, I'm going to paint it kind of red, but I painted the bones red, so I was like, now I need to spray it whitey grey again, and then paint it kind of red after when it's more whitey with the bones.
Wait, so when you get these models, are they just completely blank and you basically design them yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Mine would just come out completely plain. I'm terrible at artistic stuff. They'll just come out bare bones and everything.
You should ask Priyesh about his models. They look so good.
I think I saw a picture of him. I think when we last saw him.
Yeah, he can do flames, and it looks so good. A lot of my mates can do really good. I'm the worst painter out of all my mates. I'm not bad, but I know I'm the worst.
I know one of the general memes of people that play Warhammer is they keep buying new models, to which the friends ask, "Have you painted the other ones yet?" Like, no, but I want these ones. And
with that, the episode ends. Anyway, I'm pretty bad for it, but I've got better because I've now got into a point where I'm like, I don't need to buy anymore. I've got a good list for both my armies, and I don't need to buy anymore. I need to paint it.
But this one's got shiny bits on it.
No.
Well, sticking with the theme of talking about stuff I've got no idea about, did you two want to discuss Demon Slayer as well?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
We saw that. Well, I saw it the day after it came out in the UK. You saw it a couple of days after, didn't you, Brandon?
Yeah, I saw it a couple of days after.
Sadly, you saw it in dub, and I saw it in sub.
I mean, I'm not going to really sort of complain too much about the fact that I saw it in dub, but no. I was more there for the experience.
Yeah, obviously you won't
as well
with your girlfriend. Obviously, if you had gone with me, you'd seen it in sub anyway, but you wanted to see it with your girlfriend, and that's understandable.
But it's the first time I've been in a cinema, obviously since COVID, and it's the first time I've actually seen an anime in the cinema. So that's two things off my criteria there.
I've seen numerous anime films in the cinema. I've seen Weathering with You. I've seen Akira.
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, I've seen the One Piece films in the cinema. think someone I know was just like, I want to see One Piece. And I was like, yeah, why not? It was alright. It was a One Piece film. It was just what you expect. It was basically just fan service and fan fiction. So, yeah.
So, like most of the anime things that tie in with a series, they go out, have an adventure, and then we're all going to magically forget about it and never bring it up again in the series.
Yeah, pretty much. Like loads of antagonists and protagonists all just join forces, and it's like, this would never happen, but it's just fun.
It gets even more confusing, like when the series go on and you see like maybe like the same character from the film, and they introduce and like nothing ever happened. It's like, what, you don't remember me?
Yeah.
We like saved the world together for like 90 minutes. How the hell do you not remember that? You nearly died.
I've seen two of the last two Dragon Ball films I've seen in the cinema. They were really good. They're quite canon as well, because they're both in, well, not the last one, but the previous one, Resurrection F, they actually did in Dragon Ball Super. But then they've changed a few things, but I kind of don't see why I don't think the changes don't add anything. I think one of the characters dies in the TV show, and I was like, but he'll come back anyway. So what does it matter that they died?
Okay.
Well, it's Dragon Ball anyway.
Yeah. So if you guys had to rate between you, like Demon Slayer and like 0 to 10, what would you both give it?
Oof.
That's asking for a big number.
Right, so obviously, Chris, you don't really know much about Demon Slayer, and
I know nothing.
So,
nothing.
Brandon and I have spoken about this before, but like, to me, Demon Slayer is really good. Like, it's a really good anime, and the film was really good. And both the anime and the film, I felt exactly kind of the same, where it was really good from start to finish. And as it went on, it got better. But I can see a lot of people loving it so much more from the get-go than myself.
So what do you mean by that?
I think I've watched too much anime.
You think?
So would that mean, how are you phrasing it, if you've never watched a series before, could you just jump straight into the film?
No, not for Demon Slayer the movie, but see the genre which Demon Slayer is. So
Shonen.
Long story short, it's under the theme of shonen, so it's more geared towards teenage lads or young adults, and it's more mainstream. So if you're not overly into anime, it's a series which you can quite easily pick up, and get yourself invested in. I've seen upwards of 400 different series of anime, so I'd say I'm quite cultured about it.
I'm about the same. Well, I'm a little bit less than 400, but it's near enough as high.
Yeah, so it's just...
For comparison, I've got the first 3 Pokemon films on Blu-ray, and that's it. So I'll see them at the cinema.
Yeah, I will say that I will definitely get Mugen Train on Blu-ray. Like, I 100% want it, because the soundtrack was banging.
Oh yeah, like as I said, my brother and I were speaking about it the other day. Like, obviously, the last episode I was talking about Nier. The music reminded me of Nier. It had that same feel.
I was gonna say, because I've not played Nier, so I don't even know the soundtrack of Nier yet.
But it had that feel of Nier to it.
Yeah, the soundtrack when it played, like in that final fight with Rengoku. Oh, that was beautiful.
That fight, just him in general in that film was every fight scene they gave him. It was top notch animation. UFO Table just
UFO Table absolutely
nailed
hammer
it.
Fight scenes.
Nailed it.
So good.
They absolutely nailed it. Even when they did the anime, they absolutely nailed it. If there was I need to look at what else they've done, because
I think they've done the Fate series.
Oh.
I've got the disc here. I think it's the Fates. No, it's type. Yeah, the Fate series. All of the fight scenes in the Fate series is also UFO Table.
Okay, I'm actually looking at what they've done. I actually don't know it, except Demon Slayer. Oh, they did God Eater? Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking for that sort of Demon Slayer level action, the Fate series is, oh my god, the fight scenes in that are incredible as well.
It pretty much is just Demon Slayer, not really much else of their stuff. I know. I've seen God Eater, but I didn't really think much to it. Yeah, I don't really know anything. I don't think I've watched anything else by them. Oh, they did the Cone Vein animation, by the way.
Yep.
Huh.
See,
Going back
anything
to-
to do with fight scenes, they're freaking on the ball. You can't beat them.
Going back to like
think
last
the only ones-
episode.
Yeah, the only ones which can come close to Ufotable in terms of fight scenes, I think, is maybe Mappa.
Well, that kind of works well into something I want to talk about in a bit. But no, I really enjoyed Demon Slayer. I went on my own to see it because I would have gone with Brandon, and I did actually have a few friends who I could have gone with, but they didn't know that it was out, so I didn't go with them. So it was the first time I went to the cinema on my own, and I was a bit like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I was just in my own little bubble, just sat there. I was like listening to music until it was just about to start, and then I really enjoyed the film, and I was like, well, it doesn't matter that I didn't go with anyone.
I know, I was going to say, I would have not minded. Like, it's one of those films which it just absorbs you, doesn't it?
It was so funny. It was so beautiful. The animation. It was so good. As I know, Brandon and I have spoken before. The only bit where the animation was off, and it was always going to be because of what it is the CGI train moment.
Yeah, that's the only thing which lets the show down. It's just CGI.
But saying that, the amount of anime films that do similar things like that, where that moment lets it down, is just CGI in general in anime just doesn't always work. In the last,
always looks a bit uncanny valley, doesn't it?
Yeah, in the last Dragon Ball Super film, the Broly one, there's a bit where Goku is fighting Broly, and the animation looks like it's come straight from like a Dragon Ball game, because that's the way the animation is. Like there's it pans out, and it's like this could literally just be put in a Dragon Ball video game, and you wouldn't bat an eye. But that's just the animation. That's what they had to deal with.
Yeah. So I think if I was to rate Demon Slayer, it would probably be like, if I was to have like a set of like 20 criteria, it probably would have scored 19 out of 20. So effectively, I'd probably give it like a 9.5 out of 10. With the only downside just being that little bit of that CGI just not matching that bit.
I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, to be honest. Like, I think I feel the same about the anime and the film, where it's like, it's great, it's like at a great level from start to finish, but I do think people overhype it. But then I think we were talking about this before we recorded episode 2 actually. I think ever since I've watched Hunter x Hunter, my appreciation to shonen anime is now on a massive level, where if it's not doing something like Hunter x Hunter, shonen isn't doing something for me in some ways. Because Hunter x Hunter is just so good. Hunter x Hunter just is a deconstruction of shonen anime. And it just puts all the shonen tropes and just reverses it, and it's so good. The amount of times I've cried to Hunter x Hunter is ridiculous.
Yeah, but I can't formulate an opinion for Hunter x Hunter because I've not seen it.
Well, you should.
Once again, lost.
I know. But like, Demon Slayer was really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I might even watch it dubbed next time, to be fair. I normally do. I might rewatch the anime in dub and then watch the film in dub.
Oh yeah, this is probably another thing which, I mean, I'm not dissing dubbing, but the voice, like one of the voices, it did irritate me a little bit. It was.
Who was it?
You're gonna really, you can probably guess. Like, who do you think would probably have the most odd husky voice?
I think it's I'm gonna kind of forget their names. I think it's either is it Zen Zetsu? Is it
Zen's voice actor was actually pretty decent.
Is it the boar guy?
Yeah, Inosuke.
Inosuke.
I did not like, because whenever I see him, I instantly look back to his Japanese voice actor.
His Japanese
voice actor is so good.
He was like, his character was so good in the film. Like the end battle when they're against
jump out the train and everything.
Yeah, the end battle against the train with him and I'm gonna forget the main character's name. When they're fighting together, he was so good. I like the fact that in a way he was more OP than the main character, and I was like, this is really cool that he was like actually kind of stronger. It wasn't one of those typical anime moments where it's like, main character's gonna do it all. He kind of did, but he kind of didn't as well. It was really cool.
Yeah, I say they're probably my two gripes. It's just the choice of English dub for him. But I think that's just just a lot of times when you're trying to do anime dub, it's not great. And then the CGI, they're probably my only issues with it. On
a still kind of anime thing, I have, as you mentioned, Studio Mappa. I have been watching Jujutsu Kaisen recently.
Yes.
I'm only 8 episodes in. Obviously, it's all finished now, but I'm only 8 episodes in. I'm enjoying it. I think I'm gonna have the same feelings as I do with Demon Slayer, where it's just at a really good quality from the get-go. But I right now it hasn't bumped for me, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a solid anime. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. It's already had a few. I don't know if you've watched Blood Lad.
No, I haven't.
So Blood Lad has a few nerdy references where it references Final Fantasy and a few things like that. And there's a bit in Jujutsu Kaisen where he's like, I wanted to do a Kamehameha wave, wanted to do Rasengan, and that cracked me up.
Yes, if you like those sorts of references, you'd love Gintama then.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. I had no idea what it was about before I went in, so I'm kind of really happy I didn't know anything, and it's turned out the way it has.
That's good.
Yeah.
But seeing as you've mentioned a couple of things there which I've got no idea about, so I think it's time we now bring in Chris to talk about something which I have absolutely no idea about. So Chris,
somebody said my name. Sorry.
Sorry. I was
going to win that for you talking.
I'm just gonna pop you out your timeline, and then you're gonna go to a random place in between time.
I am, yes, and I don't mean my bedroom. So let's slam the brakes on that Demon Train for a bit, and we're gonna talk very briefly because I don't want any spoilers. Because at time of recording, it's only had one episode out.
Yeah.
But Loki, I watched the first episode of that, and
Same.
I gotta say, I quite enjoyed it. I had no idea what to expect or what they're gonna do. I haven't read any comics, so I couldn't predict what was going to happen.
Neither.
But I very much enjoyed the feel of it. And
Same.
You guys have ever seen it? Did you feel like it felt like Douglas Adams wrote it, like it belonged in the sort of Hitchhiker's Guide, like restaurants at the end of the universe type feel to it?
Yeah, it kind of does actually have that feel. Now that you mention it, I didn't really think that.
That's the first thing I thought about when they were about the bureaucracy and getting the ticket. I don't know.
I've not seen or read Hitchhiker's Guide in so long, so I didn't think that actually. But I really enjoyed it. I like. This is going to be a bit too much spoilery. I really enjoyed Tom Hiddleston as Loki in it. I thought he was. Well, it's Tom Hiddleston. He's such a good actor, and he absolutely smashes it, always, as Loki. Even after all this time, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he's been fantastic throughout the entire series.
You know someone I really enjoyed in Loki? Owen Wilson.
Yeah, well, I didn't know quite how it fit into that, because when they said Owen Wilson, it's like, yeah, it can be a good comedian, but I can't say he's been in anything particularly rip-roaringly funny since the early 2000s. I think for me, like the last thing of him that I thought really funny was like Wedding Crashers. That was donkeys years ago.
I've not watched anything with him in ages. I think the last thing that I know people have watched is probably Marley and Me.
And I haven't seen that. And that was like 2007 or something.
I was going to say, I've not even seen it.
No. But he was really good. I thought, I was saying this to my mate Phil, I was like, he looks so good in Loki. He looks so good in a suit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I thought, Owen Wilson, like, he's not going to be like a sort of superhero, is he? He can't pull that off. I mean, I've been surprised before at others. But no, I think he fits the role quite well. Just like, he doesn't like have powers as such. He's just like a guy in a suit working in an office, really.
Yeah. I think, without going too much, like the thing they drop at the end of the episode, I'm wondering if it's kind of going a way I think it might, but I guess we'll find out eventually. Do we know how many episodes it is, Chris?
I'm not sure. I've not checked. I don't know if they have announced it. I know Falcon and Winter Soldier, again, that was a great series. That was only 6 episodes. I was like, oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like at least, I don't know, 8 to 13 episodes. Like a lot of series, you know?
Doesn't say how many episodes right now. It just says episode 1, episode 2, which comes out obviously next Wednesday. But it doesn't say how many. Oh, it says the series is expected to be 6 to 8 episodes. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's probably about this. Well, the last one was 6 episodes, and One Division was 8 episodes, was it?
I thought One Division was 9.
Is it 9?
9? I think it was.
I've watched it. I don't know.
I think it was 9 because you had like the first 2 episodes released together, and they kind of felt like one big episode.
Yeah, because the tangent doesn't really come into it until like episode 3. I won't spoil One Division either for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
it's still relatively new.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying the Marvel TV shows so far. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much knowledge you have of the MCU, Brandon, but I know.
I was literally about to say in terms of MCU, all I've seen is Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Captain Marvel. I've basically seen like the first 6. That's as far as I am in MCU.
I have to say, Captain Marvel is not the first 6, but all right.
No, that's just jumping quite away from it. That's one of the last ones.
Marvel? I can't remember if I have seen Captain Marvel.
The female one.
Yeah, I think I have seen it.
And that's like right near. That's like the film before Endgame.
Yeah, that came out like
Which one have I seen? I need to check this. I've seen something with a female protagonist.
I know it came out like 2 years last February. I don't really remember that because it's like the first time my mum went to the cinema in like 2 decades.
I'm bringing up the MCU order. I've definitely seen it's Captain. Yeah, Captain Marvel is second.
Huh?
It goes Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Hulk.
That's the in-universe timeline, not the film.
That's what I mean.
Right.
As far as I am. So the last one I watched was Iron Man 3, I think.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I would never watch the MCU in chronological order. I'd always watch it in release order.
Why?
Because that's like the proper way, really. I guess the only way you could break that is you could watch both Guardians films back to back. But other than that, I would always watch it in release order. I know a few people who have done it chronological order. I think if you've seen it all numerous times, sure. But if you've never watched the MCU, I'd never watch it in chronological order. I'd always watch it in release order.
Yeah, otherwise there's like certain like nuances or like in jokes you just won't get the first time.
Like you meet Captain Marvel and you wouldn't see her for like 12 films later. Okay.
Yeah, but the reason I'm following it chronologically is just I just like to see like the timeline of stuff, really.
Yeah, the timeline is interesting. I've seen like a few things about the timeline, but yeah, it is interesting to see where everything's set and all that. Because like Iron Man 2, I think it's Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and Captain America and Thor. No, sorry, Iron Man 2, Captain America, and Thor are all set on the same week.
On the same week.
Yes, they're in the MCU that week. Those 3 films are set on the same week, and it's called. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten his name. Samuel L. Jackson's character. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten his name now.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, it's called Nick Fury's Big Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a name.
It's something like that. It might not be that, but it's something like that. It's just like
Nick Fury's hectic weekend.
It's something like that. I can't remember, but like it's like those 3 films all happen on the same week. Well, you know that Iron Man 2 and Thor do because Nick Coulson leaves halfway through the film to be like, "Oh, I've got a new issue," and then at the end of the film, in the post-credit scene, you're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh yeah, now that I'm looking through this, I think some of the ones which I've seen out of timeline is I watched. I think Guardians of the Galaxy was the first Marvel film I ever watched.
Such a great film. Such a great film.
You can get away with watching it on its own because like Guardians 1 and 2 are so far removed. Quite literally in distance from the rest of everyone else.
And then for some reason, I think I've seen Ant-Man somewhere.
I love Ant-Man. I know a lot of people seem to have mixed views on it, but I love it.
Yeah, Ant-Man's great.
I don't see why.
Ant-Man's a great film to watch when you're drunk.
I don't see why people have mixed views. I love it. I saw it in America, actually. I went to Florida a couple of years back, and while I was out there, it came out. So I was like, "Oh, Dad, let's go see Ant-Man." So I went to this really nice cinema I think it was in Daytona. Oh, yeah, I was in Daytona at that point. I went to this cinema in Daytona Beach, and I watched it, and it was really, really good. And since all the cinemas over here have now like that cinema where you have like recoiling seats and all that.
Okay, I was just about to say, even Ant-Man 2, which is probably one of the weaker ones.
Yes.
It's still a great film, in my opinion, but it just lacks that sort of, I don't know, sort of agency. It's like everything else is like nearly always like a global problem. This one, Ant-Man 2, is like such a smaller scale, which I suppose them being shrinking down kind of fits down to their size as well. Size jokes.
Yeah, it's a MacGuffin film where they're all trying to get the MacGuffin through like the whole entire film. If you've seen the film, you know what they're trying to get, but that is pretty much what the film is. It's like, we need to get this. You have 3 or 4 different factions all trying to get it, and that is pretty much the film. Where it's constantly.
I suppose in hindsight, they're just really just setting up the quantum realm for Endgame.
Yeah, like I really like the MCU, and I've not watched some of the films for a while, but I used to go to a quiz, and I got called the Marvel guy because there was one week they had a Marvel round, and I got every question right, and there was the quiz master he asked a question, he didn't even get halfway, and I started writing the answers, and he looked at me and he's like, "I've not even finished the question. Do you even know what I'm about to say?" And I went,
"Yes, because I used the time stone."
He was like, because the question was, who are the original Avengers? And I said that, and he was just like, "Yeah, that's the question." And then I wrote.
Go on, Brandon, live on air. Who's the original Avengers? You know,
the original Avengers.
Is he? Yeah. Is he? He's not going to.
Do you
know.
really think I'm going to get this right? All because, for me, but bear in mind, I've only seen like the first 6 or 7 films. For me,
the films aren't going to help you here. When I mean original Avengers, I'm talking about the comics, and that's the thing.
Then I've got no bloody idea, but for some reason, I'd say Nick Fury's one of them.
No.
Well, there you go. That's as far as I can get.
I'll say this: 3 of them are in the Avengers. So
Really?
yeah, so all of them are in the films, but 3 of them are in the MCU Avengers.
I'm not an expert either, but I want to say one of them is Spider-Man.
Nope.
No,
I'd like to say Captain Marvel's one of them.
Nope.
Oh.
The Fantastic Four. Any of those? 3 bitches in it.
That would already be near enough all the Avengers, so no. There's only in the original Avengers. There's only 5 of them, and they do actually fight Loki. Funny enough, it is the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Wasp, and of course Thor.
See, I thought that would have been too stupid to go for.
Like, if they're fighting Loki, you're gonna have to have Thor.
Of course, that would have been Hank Pym's Ant-Man, not Scott.
Yes, it is both Hank Pym and his wife, who do actually both appear in the films. But yeah, it's that in the comics. It's the Hank Pym version.
Do you think, because they can pretty much pull anything out of their arses for like the multiverse and the time stones, do you reckon they might make that film ultimately? Just find a way to do it, like the original lineup.
I think they would. I think they would kind of do a bit of like maybe in Ant-Man 3 do a bit more of the backstory of Hank and his wife. I've forgotten his wife's name in the MCU, but they might do a bit more of that. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I just think that might be a cool Easter egg. Say like in Endgame, they go back in time to like the fight with Loki, but it's not the Avengers as we know it in the film. It's like the Hulk's there, yeah, but so is Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they're like, what the hell's going on?
I don't know, unless this is going to be something they could kind of do in Loki, but who knows?
Yeah, well, he is mischief. God of mischief, even.
I think they've maybe kind of confirmed that Incredible Hulk might be in She-Hulk as well.
Yeah, I don't know really anything about She-Hulk apart from the fact that she exists.
I know how she becomes She-Hulk, because she has a blood transfusion and then becomes She-Hulk.
Okay.
Obviously from Bruce. So, yeah. And that's why she becomes green. But,
I see.
And other than that, I don't really know much about She-Hulk. I've seen like a weird comic with her in. I was like, what? This is actually real? Where I think Human Torch just flies over the Fantastic Four building and she's just sunbathing and then she's like, whoa.
Well, she was sunbathed really quickly if Human Torch is there, surely.
Basically just a shallow fry.
I think Human Torch is looking for more than just... Yeah.
Oh, is he one of those? Is he lecherous?
I don't know what that means.
It basically means quite pervy.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a ladies' man.
Oh, he is one of those.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, if the old like 2000s Fantastic Four was anything to go by, then yes, very much so.
Yeah.
How did Chris Evans go from that into like the Captain America we know and love now? Not even the same person.
Oh,
The old film, you just want to give him a slap, tell him to sit down.
So
Yeah.
I know
have you guys got anything else to talk about?
I know we've mostly been talking about things we've watched, but I actually have played a game. I've played a few games, but one until I've completed it a third time. I'm not going to speak about it too much in too much detail. But that game is, I did actually mention it last episode. That is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I've spoken about a lot. I've spoken about it a lot to you, Brandon. You probably don't remember, but I have spoken about it.
Yeah, you have.
I've nearly played 300 hours of this game, and I'm on my third playthrough, and there's 4 playthroughs, so I've got one more. So once I've finished my third, I'm gonna probably talk about it in another episode. But I've been playing a bit more of that. I'm hoping to finish my third playthrough in July, by end of July, hopefully, and start the 4th. But that I love Three Houses. It's so good. And funny enough, one of the kind of factions or places is actually named after Leicester.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Leicester Alliance.
Oh, okay. Makes it sound like some kind of a yobbo cult. Really.
I read an article came up on my Google News the other day, and they've actually I actually read that they actually did use some inspiration from the real Leicester to make the lore for the Leicester Alliance in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I feel very sorry for that researcher.
I was going to say, why do they choose Leicester?
Yeah.
Why not? Like, this is a Japanese game, so from Japan, they've researched this city to make their own little section of the Fire Emblem world. It's kind of bananas.
So does Fire Emblem have a lot of crack dealing in that we don't know about?
Has he got a golden mile?
Well, they do. The Leicester Alliance in Three Houses has a lot of multicultural people because the Leicester Alliance Lord character is like a mixed race character, whereas the other two are like one's like kind of blonde, is it female, like empire, and then the other one's like a king kind of thing. Without saying much more, but it's as Brandon knows, I adore Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's my most played game on my Switch by nearly 200 hours now.
That's a lot of hours.
It is.
I checked today. I've played 285 hours of it, and I'm going to be playing more today.
Wow. Just imagine how many episodes of this show we could record in that time.
285 episodes.
I was going to say about 2, 3 after getting all the outtakes.
I started it last year in lockdown when I was on furlough, and I think I completed it, the first playthrough, in 2 weeks.
That's not really bad going.
So I've completed it twice, and then I've done the DLC, and now I'm a third playthrough, and then I've got the fourth one to do it some afterwards. But for now, I love it. But what I also have been playing, which goes along with the Kirby Plush, is Kirby's Adventure on the original NES.
Oh, sweet.
Have you been using the Switch emulator for that?
I have been using the Switch emulator, yes. Because I did actually have a NES when I was a kid, but I think that's my cousin's. So maybe they have it, maybe they don't. I have no idea what happened to it. But
can I very, 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 very quickly point out that Victory Achieved Podcast does not approve the use of emulators. Wink.
The thing is though, this is actually a Nintendo emulator. Like, they've put it on the Switch to use.
Oh yeah, it's better than the PlayStation Mini.
Oh yeah, much better than that.
That's okay then.
Yeah, there's two emulators.
Let's not talk about that shit show. But no, I've been playing Kirby's Adventure on the Virtual Console on the Switch, and I'm not played about maybe 2 hours of it. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I've never properly played a Kirby game. I did start Kirby Superstar last year, but then I was like, I don't know why I'm starting this when realistically I should play the one before. Although I've basically been told Kirby Superstar is just a great Kirby game to just get stuck into it. And I did, where it's like 6 Kirby games in one. I did I completed one of them. I can't remember which one, but I do want to carry on playing Kirby Superstar, which is on the
that's a
SNES,
great one.
which is on the SNES. That's on the Virtual Console on the Switch as well. But
yeah, that's a great one.
yeah, you got like Dynablade, Revenge of Meta Knight. That's got the Gormont race with King Dedede.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I've been playing like Kirby's Adventure on the NES, and like it's interesting to see how that is like all these years later. Because I think it's released like 1993 or something like that. Yes, 1993, and like some of the controls are a bit awkward because you got like different things you can do on one button. So you're like, oh, how do I jump? And then you're trying to jump, so it's like where you keep jumping, and then you'll just do like a little jump. You're like, oh no, I wanted to do the bigger jump, and you're like, ah. But then you can swallow all the different enemies and get different abilities, and it's really fun and really interesting to see what that game is on just the NES.
Well, I've still got my original Game Boy copy of Kirby's Dream Land.
That's the first Kirby game.
It is, yeah. He's still white on the front cover.
Yes.
Because they still hadn't decided on what colour he should be, so he's just a placeholder cover. Because one of the creators wanted him to be yellow, the other one wanted to be pink.
Yes.
So they just went with white in the end. They still hadn't decided.
Yeah, I have. We did mention Smash Bros. So, on it's the N64 Smash Bros. The Kirby level, where you got the tree.
Yeah, Wispy Woods.
Yeah. So I have actually done that boss fight on the Kirby's Adventure on NES.
I'm pretty sure Wispy Woods in pretty much in every single Kirby game in some way or form. They just find a way to throw him in.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's the first boss in Dreamland. He's in like everything.
Yeah, well, you get the apples and you just fire them back. Unless you've got like a ability, but if you don't, you just fire the apples back.
Correct. I think he's actually made more appearances than King DDD at this point. Yeah.
No, I have seen King DDD in it. I had like a little fight. I think I saw Meta Knight, but then I'm also not sure it was. I don't know if Meta Knight's in the first one. Oh, not
He's
in the first
not
one.
in the Game Boy one.
I mean,
I don't think he makes an appearance until the SNES.
Yeah, I didn't think he does.
I'm not 100% on that.
Although, yeah, it might be Dreamland 3 that he might first appear in, because that's also on the SNES, and then it's Kirby Superstar. So I'll probably play Kirby 3 at some point. But I'm
gonna have to dig them all out again to play at some point.
Yeah, it's just like I've got a whole load of old games and just like a list of stuff I've not played. I'm like, I need to slowly go through this list and at least play a good amount of time on some of these games or try and complete them.
Yeah, what's great about the Kirby platformers is they're just entry level platformers, really.
Yeah.
So if you got kids and want to get them into platforming, give them Kirby. Kirby's great.
It's Kirby, like, he's just so cute. I'm staring at my plush right now. He's so cute.
Yeah, just try not to think about the way he devours his enemies whole and just swallows them into complete nothingness. Just don't think about that part, and he's all fine and cuddly.
I just like the gif where he just eats the whole watermelon whole.
Well, something out there for everyone, isn't there? Brandon, I believe you have played some Subnautica.
You finished it.
As of yesterday, I finished Subnautica Below Zero. Now that I've done this, I can actually say, my honest opinion of it.
Please.
And in my opinion, it is inferior to the first game.
Okay.
Right. The only thing which I say Subnautica Below Zero does better than the first game is the base building. They've got a lot more customization which you can do, and there's a lot more food items, a lot more building items you can use, a lot more scannables. So in terms of base building, fantastic. In terms of story, immersion, and land scale, I definitely prefer the first one because you can go a lot deeper. So maximum depth of 1,700 meters, whereas Below Zero, the lowest you go is 1,100. So it's not as scary, it's not as dark as the first one, and the first game has a lot better story. Second game, the story is okay. The ending of the second one is still, it definitely makes your eyes like go wow, but it doesn't make. It's more of a wow ending in the second game compared to the first game, where it's more of a sniffle, wipe these tears away ending.
Okay.
But I will still stand by, like, if you want to get into the game for absolute basics, play like the first hour of the second game because it has a better tutorial than the first game, and then do it. But yeah, I definitely rate the first game higher than the second.
All right. Like I said,
yeah,
in the last episode, it might be a game I might have to maybe the first one and see how I get on. Might have to be a game I should have a go at playing and see how I get on.
But yeah, I highly recommend to anyone if you want to play like an open world survival horror, Subnautica is probably now be like the first one I mentioned. It is, you know, it is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful game. If you can get past how buggy and glitchy it is, like when those occurrences happen, it is a fantastic game.
Yeah, like
There we are then. Well, that's a lot of good recommendations from us today. We've been very positive and everything, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we recommend Demon Slayer, we recommend Kirby, we recommend Subnautica, recommend Loki.
Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter.
Yep.
Those as well, yeah.
And also, I recommend everyone who's listening to this to follow us on Facebook. That's also a good recommendation to do. And also follow us on Instagram and all the other social medias out there.
And Twitch channels.
and also don't forget to follow us on Twitch. So you've got me at twitch.tv/Sibaka, and you've got twitch.tv/Spanky Rambles for Chris.
Link in the description.
Shameless plug over.
Yeah, we've got to do the shameless plugs out there.
Well, I guess it's just another moment of us reaching our victory achieved.
Yeah, we're sitting by the
Exactly.
bonfire right now.
Yes.
No,
the cold
it's
fire.
warm. Why are we sitting around a bonfire? It is boiling. This was a mistake.
Oh, I'm sweating. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I've run out of Estus. I've chucked it all.
I'm
so
feeling really uncomfortable sat next to my PC because I'm getting really, really hot.
What have you got it plugged into when it's to a bonfire?
Well, no, it's just plugged in. It's just like the generic of the UK atmosphere. It's just like pressurizing every. Like, it just feels so warm. I don't like it. Bring back winter.
Yes, winter, please. Put it. Yes. I've lost the ability to communicate. It's too warm.
I was like, should I do the Game of Thrones thing and be like, winter is coming?
No,
And I
don't
was
do it.
like,
Just
I did it now, but oh well.
Your copyright claimed.
Oh no.
Quickly, sing the theme tune very badly.
Sing the theme tune.
There we are.
on the kazoo.
Yeah.
The kazoo, the best instrument.
Oh, of course it is. Everyone knows that. It's a scientific fact.
But I've been Dan, and this has been
Brandon.
and Chris.
Yes, you have my voice. Yes,
No.
this has been me. This has been Brandon. This has been Dan.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you in about 2 weeks. Obviously, the first 2 episodes have been back to back, but going forward, it will be every 2 weeks.
All right. Yeah, we had to get you hooked first.
Yes. But I hope you have a good few weeks and stay safe, like always.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.